You're needing to post more content than ever before. You're needing to do reels, you're needing to do carousels, you're needing to do stories. You've got to chase trending audios just to stay afloat on Instagram to see some growth. The problem is the likes, the comments, the impressions on Instagram aren't turning into clients, aren't turning into sales. You're not getting DMs about your course or your services. And deep down, you're starting to wonder, is this going to work? Am I the problem? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. I want you to hear me loud and clear right now. It is not you or your content. It is Instagram. The math doesn't add up when you look at the amount of effort you need to put into Instagram versus what you get back, the ROI. And I'm gonna prove it. Even though math isn't my specialty, I'm breaking it down for you today. I've got the whiteboard out, so you know I'm serious here because I don't do this for anybody. Let's start with how many weekly posts you're gonna need to do on Instagram to grow. So the research that I did says on average, you should be posting 2 feed posts a week, 3 to 5 reels a week, and 3 stories. So per week, let's add that up. So I'm gonna say 7 posts. So we got 2, we got 5, 6, 7, let's say we're busy business owners. Let's say we don't get to 3 stories. So we're gonna say average 7 pieces of content on Instagram per week. Now there's 4 weeks in a month. So we're gonna do 7 times 4 to see how much monthly time we're needing to create Instagram content. Now we need to figure out how long it's gonna take us in 1 month to create 28 pieces of content. We need to think about idea, we need to think about scripting, editing, we need to think about graphic design, we need to think about captions, right? So I'm gonna go easy and say it's going to take me 30 minutes per piece of content. Now let me know in the chat if 30 minutes is your realistic schedule to create 1 piece of content or not, or how long does it take you to create 1 piece of Instagram content? All right, so in a realistic average world, it's gonna take you 3.5 hours to create 7 pieces of content, or 14 hours a month to create weekly Instagram content that is going to disappear after 24 hours. This is not a marketing plan. This is a hamster wheel. This is why you feel burnt out and exhausted creating content. Because now, when we take 14 hours is how long it takes us to create content. Let's see how long that content will live for us during that month. We're gonna estimate that 1 piece of content lives about 24 hours. And we saw this graph right here that told us that it is more likely around 21 hours as the average lifespan for an Instagram piece of content. There's not a lot of math that's needed for this next step because, again, 28 pieces of content is going to live for 28 hours because each piece of content lives for 24 hours. So you just put in 14 hours of work for 28 hours of livable content, of content lifespan. Now, I'm going to compare this to some YouTube math, but I need to tell you right now that YouTube is incredibly hot right now for your viewers and that your audience is on YouTube. In fact, this 2024 research from Pew shows us that the most used platform in 2024 alone was YouTube by a long shot. And I'm telling you, this isn't teenage boys, this isn't influencers showing their day. This is people looking to have a problem solved. This is people spending hours of their day on YouTube. So we saw it takes us 14 hours to create 28 pieces of content that lives for 28 hours. So let's do YouTube. You literally only need to post 1 video a week. That's just 4 videos a month. And I'm gonna estimate, again, I'm gonna go easy here because maybe you've never created a YouTube video, but my clients, because they have my system, they have my schedule, they understand how to produce and create YouTube videos quickly because they get my system handed to them. I'm gonna say it takes you around 3 hours to create just 1 YouTube video. And let's bump it up. Let's say a video takes a little bit longer. So let's bump it up to equal Instagram content. So 4 videos a month takes you 14 hours, the same amount of time you're spending on Instagram. But now we're looking at how long those videos live. And those videos live on average 9 days. 4 videos, 9-day lifespan. This means your 4 videos that took you 14 hours to create lives for 36 days compared to 28 days. This is why it feels like you're hustling harder to create more content to be seen by the same amount of people. Instagram is working against you. I'm sorry, the numbers, they don't lie. Now, before I tell you some more bad news about Instagram and that short form content that you're spending your hours on, if you're starting to see this math, and you're realizing maybe it is YouTube that you need to put those 14 hours of content creation into, but you want to understand the full strategy and you want to make sure you're doing it right from day one so you're not wasting your time because you're busy. I built the Build Your Big Reputation Virtual Summit. Inside, I will walk you through the exact system for using YouTube to become the go-to expert in your niche. Finally get daily sales, daily leads, clients without burning out over all the social media content that you're needing to create right now, and how to do all of this while only needing to post one YouTube video a week. If you're ready to start creating evergreen content that compounds on itself instead of stuck on that 24-hour content hamster wheel over on Instagram, grab your ticket at trenalittle.com/rep. So I'm sorry folks, but the news gets a little bit worse right here. And there are a few more layers why spending your hours on Instagram are wasting your time. First of all, it is proven that long form content converts higher than short form content. When you're thinking about short form content, what is the mindset that viewer is in? They're looking to be entertained, right? They're pulling up TikTok, they're pulling up Reels, and they're scrolling in that school pickup line, at soccer practice, right? But when they sit down to watch long form content or go to search a problem to be solved, they're in a different mindset. They're in a problem solving mindset. And when they sit down to watch a longer video from you, it allows you to build more trust with them, create that relationship with them, and show your expertise. So long form content will always out-convert short form content. The other thing, I've been talking about this the last few weeks on my YouTube channel, is that short form content and Instagram content isn't really being indexed by AI platforms right now. But YouTube is not only searchable on YouTube, it is searchable on Google, and AI can index YouTube content. So when you focus on YouTube content, you can be found on all three of these search-based platforms. The third thing we need to realize is in 2026, Meta is changing all of its ad policies, and you're not going to be able to specifically target people anymore with your ads, which means even if you're paying, you may not be able to reach the people you want to reach. Where on YouTube, you can do this for free when you create the right content for the right person at the right time. That's the power that YouTube has. You can target these people without needing to pay for it. Now, I want to walk through a quick case study. The other day, Katie Seckley posted a YouTube video sharing kind of her Instagram strategy. Now, she has about 200,000 Instagram followers, and she broke down how many reels, how many stories, how many posts that she does. I think she was posting daily and did a few Instagram posts and a few reels a week. And she was able to reach 1 million people. But remember, she had 200,000 followers to start with. So let's look at some specific case studies on YouTube that I have had. I have a client who has not posted since February. She posted a few videos in January and February, and she has a sales asset, like a library of sales assets on YouTube with, close to 100 YouTube videos. And as I'm doing this video, it is now September. She hasn't posted it at all. And in August alone, she got 400 impressions on her YouTube videos, nearly 3,000 views, and gained 50 subscribers without posting in 6 months. And let's look at another client who is posting that's a smaller channel. She just started her YouTube channel 5 months ago. She now has 3,300 subscribers since the last 5 months. She posted 4 videos in August. She had over 24,700 views on her videos across her entire channel. Remember, your YouTube channel is a sales asset. Every video counts. She had 385 impressions that she didn't pay for that came from her YouTube content, 545 new subscribers, 40 sales, and 2 high-ticket clients paid to work with her coming from her content in August. That's the difference. Instagram content dies, YouTube content compounds. If you keep pouring your time into Instagram, taking you 14 hours to create 28 pieces of content that lives for 28 hours, you will stay stuck on that exhausting hamster wheel that I hear you all say. In fact, let me know, are you posting daily on Instagram? What does your Instagram posting schedule look like down in the comments? I'm curious. Posting nonstop on Instagram will not pay your bills. But if you put the same effort, the same 14 hours of time into YouTube content, you're building a sales engine, a sales asset that runs while you get to live your life. Take months off and have that sales asset continue to work for you. That's the difference between chasing clients on Instagram and attracting them on YouTube. Don't worry, I do have some good news for you. You do not have to start coming up with content ideas from scratch if you want to take YouTube seriously. You already have old Instagram posts, reels, stories, podcasts, and you can YouTubeify them. That way, all the work that you've done, it's not wasted. I'm gonna break down how you can YouTubeify that content in this video right here.